Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about distinctive competencies from the cases that we have been learning in the last few months. We took a look at three leading companies in three different industries, and we came to the conclusion that a lot of these companies have things in common, distinctive competencies that make them competitive companies in their specific industry. We learned about best practices from all these companies. So this is going to be the topic of our discussion. I'd like to introduce to you Juan, Miguel, and Mariangel, one of my brightest students in the EBS Executive Training Program. I would like to have this conversation as a way to motivate you to start learning through the case method and working or exercising your professional competencies in order to become global professionals. Okay, the first thing I'd like to say is let's compare the three companies. Aldi, a leading grocery retailer in the discount segment. Amcor, the world's biggest packaging company as of today. And the world's biggest logistics service provider, such as FedEx. Did you find any similarities in terms of leadership or in terms of their founders, or what are these competencies in terms of leadership? Juan, what did you find in the case?
Yes, both companies had a visionary leader in their beginnings. All these leaders were courageous people and risk takers, and they also were very talented using communication skills to persuade even the government in their country.
Very good.
Yes, and I would like to talk about how they were able to focus in their vision. They knew what they want to do, and they knew how to follow this vision until create this massive business in the world.
Okay, yes, for example, um, in the case of Fred Smith with FedEx, he came with this visionary and really courageous idea of turning the whole logistics process into one step. Okay, he wanted to be in control of every step, every level of the supply chain. Okay, and he wanted to acquire this fleet of airplanes that will be the ones that were able to transport the packages and deliver them to the people they were for.
In terms of, I wanted to say something. Why do we say that the leaders in these companies are highly courageous? For example, in Amcor's case, Juan, what did you find? Did you find that these people were risk takers?
Yes, of course. In the case of Amcor, they were very courageous and I would say brave when they demerged their businesses. It took a lot of time and money, but at the end it was worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely. So risk takers and courageous executives at these companies, right? That they're
Yes.
able to push their companies forward in order to succeed in their specific markets, right?
Yes.
Okay, Mariangel, so what did we learn from the case in terms of innovation? Is innovation a key differentiator for these companies?
Yes, it's like the most important aspect of these companies because these innovative qualities allow them to be competitive in their own markets. Okay, and they were able to have um, cost efficient solutions, okay, for the people, and that will that gave them a leadership position inside their each markets.
Okay, so Miguel, what is the one thing that Aldi does best? Can you explain the concept, please? Why are they
Well,
so successful? Why?
Why, Wes? Well, I think Aldi, the best thing that they have about innovation is that they know how to streamline the supply chain. For example, in every shop, in every Aldi's shop, you don't see a lot of employees. They have few employees. Um, Also, they know how to create an aggressive pricing strategy. I think that's their real core business, because they know how to make deals and agreements with national brands, so they can sell a product with a really good quality at a lower price. So I think that's one of the best thing of Aldi about innovation.
Basically, each company created efficiencies throughout the whole supply chain. So this allowed them to make the business more profitable, and at the end, that makes them compete very easily and enter another markets.
Okay, Mariangel, how does Amcor, uh, how is Amcor able to expand so aggressively, and what is the role of innovation in its aggressive expansion strategy?
Well, in the case of Amcor, they had this breakthrough technology that changed the whole packaging market. Okay, it was the liquid form technology, and this, if you are able to provide the best quality for the lowest cost, you will be able to engage in agreements with the biggest brands in the business. Okay, for example, what they did, Amcor had a strategic supply agreement with Arca Continental in Mexico. Okay, because of this breakthrough technology, it was a key for them that they were innovative and they were providing these solutions to
Yes,
another
more.
companies. Then this allowed them to expand to even to China. They bought one of the companies in the Jiangsu Shenda
Jiangsu.
group, okay, because of these innovative ideas they have, and for the lowest cost in the
That's
market.
advantage.
Anything to add on that, Miguel?
No,
The role of innovation?
I think that's the I want with innovation. I think creativity is one of the the biggest things about innovation. Here, where the every manager have to be really has to be really creative in order to streamline every process, and in order to find new solutions and create a new way of okay
Keep going.
and create a new way of offering the product.
Okay, so I'd like to, I want us to think about the following phrase. It's important to create efficiencies at every level of the supply chain in order to achieve cost leadership position in the industry. Let me say that again. It's important to create efficiencies at every step of the supply chain in order to become or to have the cost leadership in each industry. Can you tell me how each of these companies created efficiencies? Very quickly, Mariangel.
Okay,
Pick
for
one company and tell me how did they create efficiencies at every level?
Ali. Okay, they created efficiency because first in the packaging they lowered the air that was in the packages, and they even control the process where when they are being distributed in the
So private branding is a key indicator, right?
yes, private
Private branding. What about any other ways in which they create efficiencies? We mentioned streamlining
streamlining
and
and
enforcing. Tell me about the strategic supply agreements with producers. They
Yes.
negotiate. Anything to add in that sense,
Yes.
Miguel? How does
Just
it
for
work?
example, the case of the captured, the Aldi offer is an example of this agreement that Aldi has made with other companies. They made this agreement with Heinz, a national brand, so they offer this ketchup that has a really good quality at a lower price, making these agreements and being persuasive with these other brands.
Okay, Juan, and in terms of FedEx, how do they create efficiencies?
Well, they use a lot technology. For instance, they create a massive infrastructure which allow them to have a direct control over all the packages, or they can track the packages easily.
I heard they have these NASA-like control
Yes,
centers,
they have
right?
control centers in which they can follow the package through from the pickup point to the ultimate delivery. That's at the end that's the core business of the cost-effective position of FedEx.
All right, so those are the final conclusions of our discussion. I really enjoyed learning with you about these three companies, and I hope to see everyone, continuing the learning process in terms of case analysis. Because you need to be challenging your English at all times to
Yes.
speak about these topics that are highly complex, that involve a lot of terminology.
Yes.
So thank you very much for watching this video and you for coming to this discussion. Thank you.